Okay, welcome again. So what we're going to do is tell you that there's an activity 6, right? Activity 6. Activity 5 is your teen issues. Activity 6, we'll call it the Navajo history line. Now, I'm going to present this, but if you have something that is a little different, for example, this says choose a Navajo historical event. Google the topic. Choose if this never, that's the key word right now, never. And let me tell you what I mean by that. This is the key, and make it bold. Choose this. And let's put a little explanation. And look at ideas as if this event never happened. All right, let's take the long walk. We all know that the long walk happened, right? Long walk. If the long walk never happened, our people were not driven across to Fort Sumner and spent 4 years ago. Let's say that didn't never happen. You tell me what would that happen? Tell me what good things or what positive or negative things would have occurred. You think so? It's kind of like rewriting history a little bit, or if we didn't experience one of the issues over here, okay? The Colorado mine spill, some of the weird things that happen, like the violence that might be occurring. If we wipe that out, what would it be like? I don't know if you get anything out of Navajo Police. We might watch this together because I think that has a lot of good things in it. This was actually a TV series. So if I open this, it will tell you how many videos. Okay, so there's video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we jumped from 5 to 9. Might as well just make that 6, yeah. We'll make that 6. So that one's, hey, there's a good one right there. Women as president, all right. Women as Navajo. We've never had a woman Navajo president. What if we did? I mean, some of them ran, right? Some of them ran. And so you'll listen to this and then get some ideas, right? Get some ideas and say, what if a woman actually became a president? Tell me some things that would be positive, negative. You can talk about just the positive. You can talk about just the negative, or you can talk about both, Positive things will be this, but I think there'll be a negative. This will be what it is. All right. So if you got some questions, ask me in the chat so we can answer those questions about this next project. It's like, okay, it's John and Johnette. All right. So anyway, so it could be about this idea of woman president. So go to the video clips, get some ideas, right? Get some ideas. Let's see if looks like that's about all. I thought it would be more. Okay. 6 videos. Now, let's say you didn't get anything out of any one of these, okay? Go and search, go to YouTube, Navajo issues, maybe put new, because we're doing a new. Go ahead and go new issues, Navajo Nation, because that's a nation, we're a nation now. We're just not Navajo tribe. If you guys understand, Navajo tribe is the old name, okay? When we began to see that our people were more than, we got all these different things, courts and police and all these things come about. We're just like a state, right? Like the state of Utah, like the state of Arizona. We're getting so big that it almost acts like a state. So at that time, we switched over to nation, like the United Nations, right? United Nations is big, it's a worldwide organization. So we became the Navajo Nation. So whenever you write down Navajo Nation, you're talking about the new Navajo, the new people, all right? So let's say you put Navajo Nation new issues, click it, and Navajo Nation looks to legalize same-sex marriage. Well, that's an issue, right? It used to never be an issue, but today it is. And this is way just like yesterday, right? It says 11 days ago. Brand new issue. I mean, it's not brand new, but to our nation, it might be, because the leaders are beginning to see what. So if you're interested in that one, don't go beyond this page, okay? Go beyond this page. Because you want to do this project. This the reason why we did that timeline is so we can get some new issues, the new stuff that's bothering our nation, okay? And what you do is, what if it did happen? What if this, let's say you're looking at legal same-sex marriage. Well, what if all our leaders raised their hand and said, yes, we need to do this? What would change? What positive things? What negative things? Or, in between. All right, so that's going to be interesting. So all you're going to do is do a slide, or you can choose the video as long as it's not too long. Like this one's only 2 minutes long. So as long as it's not over 5 minutes, okay? 5 or less, a video you want to share, okay? And then once you share it, you say, here are my ideas. What if this really became into law? My ideas of what is positive, what is negative. Because think as if you're a leader of chapter of, and I think Charlotte talked about a agency, which is like, I don't know how many chapters, maybe 30 chapters. It could be a leader in that area, or it could be the leader like Jonathan and all the council delegates. What if they actually said, yes, we're going to have a law, we're going to do this, and whoa, do a little, be futurist, right? Do a little, if this happened, Mr. Long, I believe this is going to occur, this is going to occur. Positive or negative, okay? Here's another one. This was old, not old from this, not old from the standpoint of it's gone away. It's still there. Okay, this is the poison Navajo Nation. How the Navajo Nation works, country within a country. That would be interesting. Look at some of these. Okay, look at some of these. Let's see. Navajo Nation is focused on human trafficking. Oh no, this is something that's might be happening in Salt Lake, might be happening Albuquerque. How about right here? How about right here on the Navajo Nation? Learn about it because it's present day stuff that's going on, and find out if this really is happening, what would happen in the future. Just take the present, look in the future and say, this will probably happen if we do not have laws to, control. So take a stand. That's what I'm saying. There's no right or wrong answer, okay? Things happening on the res, there's no right or wrong answers. I know, for example, not everybody has electricity, even right now, or running water. What if everyone had electricity? What if everyone had running water? What would be our world on the res be like? Okay, and then you list bullet points, positive things, this. Negative side, this, bullet points, okay? All you want to do is talk about it and make some slides out of it, okay? Anybody have any questions? Hey, I don't see any questions. Let me just keep on talking. These are new stuff, right? Pandemic shines light on water access issues on the Navajo Res. The pandemic, how nation is dealing with less stuff. I mean, less things that we need to have. Inside the Indian Reservation readings from poverty and the pandemic. What new issues has the pandemic brought on the res? I'm going to tell you right now, what happens on the reservation is bigger than what happens in the city, okay? You see an issue in the city, Salt Lake, New York, all over different big cities. The issue that they have, maybe it's drugs. I'm going to tell you, here on the res, it's usually double or triple. And I'm not sure why that is, but it does that. Whatever problem there is in the cities, the res is like almost double, all right? So here's what kind of things are happening because of the pandemic. You can do a little slide presentation on that. Navajo Nation families gain electricity during, all right? So then maybe there's some positive things, right? The interview, Jonathan, our president, he does a lot of presentations, keeping the people thinking about a pandemic. Wear your mask, wash your hands, always, do this in public kind of thing. So you can learn a lot about the new issues, all right? Navajo Nation's biggest online school problems. Pandemic shut down all the schools, right? So we had to squirm. Not everybody had electricity in their home. Not everybody had a computer. Not everybody ever learned how to get online, So we're like back in the 50s compared to the nation 2022, right? As some things were still back in the 50s. And because of that, we could not do what the city folks are doing. And so here's one, listen to this one, talking about problems that occurred when you don't have an online, whatever, online class, online school. So that's a good issue. Navajo Nation, sacred and mysterious Shabrock. And that's more history, so maybe not that one. It's not really a big issue, probably. I mean, maybe just learn about what's there. Let's go down a little bit further. try to stay good stuff, right? Burnside Junction, something standing beside the road. Maybe not. Off the grid means you don't have any electricity nearby where you live. I live off the grid for 48 hours with the Navajo Nation people. This is living off the grid. There's no electricity, there's no running water, there's no furniture. I mean, not furniture, but just modern stuff. Okay. And so here's a guy that says, I experienced that. All right. We got video on this one, so you'll look at one of those. Anyway, I just want to give you a taste, right? I just want to give you an understanding that there are so many issues facing our nation, and we need you guys. We need you guys to become lawyers, leaders, entrepreneurs, problem solvers, a desire to just give back in some small way, because it's our people. We need to solve some problem. Here's you know about the roads too, and you'll listen to that one when you go. Anyway, there are some people that are doing something about it, so find some people that are doing. This is the person that's doing something, helping the nation, young people. Just giving back on their own way, decided to make a difference. So listen to some of those too. So there's solving the problem is not just a Navajo Council delegate, chapter president. They have enough. They have enough to do. But the young people, like this is Sahara. Sahara's right here at Montezuma Creek. She is so dedicated to helping with various ways to help, giving food to the guys that are can't afford it. All right, so that's a good one. All right, anybody have any thoughts or questions? You can turn on your recorder and see as long as I have a question. All right, so I might have spent a little bit too much time, but spending this time will help you in the next, So all you're doing is identifying a current issue. What if that was solved? What if all of a sudden, everybody had electricity? What would that do? Brainstorm, categorize, prioritize, details on the topic. Put that into a PowerPoint. All right. So let's just look at this little goodie here. This is just a timeline. Okay, timeline. Navajo history timeline. The idea of res began back in 1869 when the long walk. When everybody came back from a long walk, there were agreements, treaties, right? Treaties. Our ancestors, they call it the Nalsosana, old book, old paper, right? Treaty. All right. So back in 1906, the idea of having trading posts, old JTO. Right now, we have a committee right here in San Juan County that's formed that is re-establishing the old trading posts. Right now, it's shut down. But what we want to do is highlight it as the first trading post, right? The best, the one that was the mother of all trading posts. And we want people from all over come visit. So that came back, that 1905, that's over 100 years ago. All right, so that's cool. So timeline is really good, tells you a lot of things. Tribal council, the thing that Miss Lacey talked about. it started back in that year, 1921. And oh, this is a big one right here. Livestock reduction. So you only have 1869, people were given sheep, they were going back on the res, so they gave them tools and animals and seeds to plant. And, the United States, they were generous to the people because they're going to go home and they need new start, new something. So with them, boarding schools, kids going to school and stuff like that started. But within just this short time, 1869 to 1928, that many years, all of a sudden somebody became an entrepreneur. He wanted to raise lots of sheep because sheep produce meat, sheep produce wool, sheep produce, buckskin for dress or whatever. All of a sudden, the nation, Navajo Nation, not Navajo Nation, United States saw it as, hey, the sheep, the cows that they have, hey, they're eating up all the grass. The land's going to turn into a big sandbox, and so they had to do what they call a reduction. And you can probably Google, now either Google or you can do a YouTube and find out about the reduction. That'd be cool. All right. So there's some things, 1933, 1935. We haven't been born. I haven't been born. Coming up, 1945. Aha, look at that. Our code tuggers right there. 1942, 1945, World War II. We meaning our people joined the code talkers. Why? Because the enemy was breaking every code that the Laganas were trying to put together, and they needed somebody else. And they leaned on the Navajo code talkers. Why? Because we didn't know how to read or write our own language, so nobody could break a code because we just talked it. We didn't have a dictionary or nothing, no written material. And because of that, the Navajo themselves that went into the army, the Marines, they came up with how to write Navajo and how to use it as a code and implement it in this war. And very, very, very successful, right? So that's cool. Here, remember Annie Monica? There it is right there. Remember Tribal Museum? If you haven't been there, you got to go Winter Rock and look at what's there. It's cool to see. Look at that school. Look how long we, meaning the Navajo people, the first native operated college. Did you know that because the Navajo people stepped forward, started their own college, other natives began to envision having their people have a college. Nowadays, the bigger nations throughout the United States, they have their own college. I call that leadership. I call that stepping up, to help other nations to do what we do. That's cool. Self-determination. Wow, self-determination. What was that? 1970, which is, I was born, I was just getting out of high school here. And to the present, this is self-determination in action right now. What are some self-determination? What are some things that Navajo Nation did? Tourism department was established. Government reform. How are we going to run our peoples? the first Navajo election. Guess who it was? Peterson Zaw. He was the first one that was called President Zaw. Before that, everybody called him Chairman McDonald, Chairman Akia, Chairman, and all these different chairmans. But it was 1970, it's right here, it says 1990. We reformed the government. This is where we became what we call the Navajo Nation, not Navajo tribe anymore. Nation, right? Bigger. All right, so that's cool. 2000, President Clinton approved congregational medals to the code toppers. Wow, that's a long time. These guys were told never talk about your contribution to the war. And they kept their word. Nobody knew. It was all secret until 1970, when President Clinton decided this is what needs to happen. Let's get in the middle. Let's say that this nation, Navajo Nation, helped us in the war. It's kind of like we saved the United States, all right? That we're a part of the saving of Navajo people. And not just Navajo, all of the United States. All right, neat, huh? All right, so those are ideas. And activity, let's say Aniwika was the first elected to serve the tribal council. What would happen if a Navajo was never elected as a tribal council delegate? What if it was this man today? What would happen if we didn't have any? Right now, I think we have about 3 or 4 women that are council delegate. What if today, what if Navajo, Aniwika never stepped forward and we just had men in there? Oh, what would it be like? You know, maybe tell a story on that. This is your story. You brainstormed, right or wrong answers. Maybe example is, hey, we should have what they call a Women's Day. Let us celebrate Women's Day. Leaders, Navajo Nation Women's Leadership Day, right? Because we did it. We did Aniwinika. You know, that'd be a positive thing. We don't do that. We should have a day. We would have her speak at our graduations. You know, you should go to the tribal office and have them come to your graduation and be one of the keynote speakers. I know that's good. They're up to it. Yeah, they're up to it. All right. Well, I think I've given you enough, a taste of activity 6. All right. Start thinking, start researching, start watching, and come up with your version. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to what you find. All right. Any thoughts, questions? If you can't come up with a question right now, email me, text me, call me, whatever you want to do it. I just want to thank you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be on Zoom. I wouldn't be sharing cultural stuff to you guys, because I'm not proficient in technology. Your culture is technology. The day you were born, you were going like this. on your little iPhone or on a little telephone. And when you went to school, you were typing. You're way beyond the typewriter. You're way beyond how to use technology. Your world, your culture is technology. My dream is to bring the young, the technology that they know, and bring the older generation, the cultural people, connect those two, and bring about something really nice, a career, a way of event, a way of gathering, a way to preserve language, cultural history, all the stuff we've gone through that is valuable from way back somewhere. That's what I desire. And that's the reason why these activities are being done, or you're doing it, so that you can visualize, become. And it goes back to this word right here. We see the problems. We see the difficulties. We are experiencing the lack of things. But we want to go beyond and say, I can do something. And if I just have a team like my team here that's doing the PowerPoint, if we can put our heads together, I think we can solve a certain problem for the people. I'm telling you, the council delegates, the chapters, your mom and dad, your grandpa, all those people will be so happy that the young people made a decision. And it would be like they've been praying, they've been desiring, and it's beginning to happen. They'll see it. And I think that's leaving a legacy. This is all about leaving a legacy. The co-talkers did it. The twins did it. The folks that went on the long walk did it. They left a legacy. The folks that are leaders right now, they're leaving a legacy. Every single one of us in this class can come together with another and leave a legacy. Yeah. Don't worry too much about, oh, I don't have this or that. I don't come from a home where they speak language, cultural history. I'm just somebody that's coming outside the reservation, lives in the city only. Don't worry about it. Go back to your mind, go back to your heart, and find something that's tugging at you. It's kind of like saying, you can do this. You got to do this. If you don't do it, you're going to be feeling bad. You're going to be regretting. It's a feeling of regret when you get older. I wish I could have done this. I wish I would have been part of this. That's the whole idea. I believe that's my number one, what do you call it? Deep strength that I have. I believe that somebody can do something. I believe I can do something. I believe that I'm trying to bring the two people together, the young, the older together. When I do that, guess who's learning the language and the culture? The young. Guess who's learning about technology? The grandmas, grandpas. So when we do something together, we're learning, we're teaching one another. We're helping one another. And that's the trick. It doesn't really take a whole bunch of people to do this. I'm going to tell you right now, people in Washington, D.C. are not thinking about our people. I mean, they have it in the books, but they have no idea how to come. They have bigger problems than we do. But if we get together on our own and go to our chapter or go to our nation, see the problem, and begin to see, I think I can solve that one. And I'm going to tell you right now, you will be recognized for what you're doing. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening. I would like, it's already 4:54. I have a couple of presentations that I need to put together. So I'll kind of just stop here for a moment and let you just work for a minute and get prepared for the next presentation. All right, presentations. So if I go over here and I see email, where's my email? Email. So I'll kind of pause or a little bit here, record Zoom. All right, Felicity, go ahead and start.
Okay, so I decided to interview Narbona. The interviewer would say, "Hello, welcome. The first question is, when you heard the coyote calls, what things did you bring while trying to escape from the Utes?" Narbona would say, "Well, I made sure all of my family, especially the little ones, were safe. Then I grabbed any food I could carry so we would all be well fed." The interviewer would say, "Next question, were you glad to grow up and not be sheltered by your mother, grandmothers, and aunts?" Narbona would say, "Obviously, I was happy to be free riding my horse and being my own person, but I still kind of missed having my every demand met as a baby." The interviewer would say, "Now, as you got older with your friends, what contests did you guys do?" Narbona would say, "Oh, we had lots of contests. We raced on horses, we threw rocks, and we even broad jumped. Of course, I always won." "Did you have to start fighting as Utes and Spaniards came to attack?" "Yes, I did. Because my friends and I were so strong and manly from all the games we played, we were able to defend our families and ourselves." "Did you feel any pressure taking on such a big role when you're so young?" "No, because I was strong and I was happy to make my family proud, especially make my people proud. I was doing something good for my community, so it was perfectly fine." "How did you feel seeing your people suffer and become slaves?" "I was angry. I didn't think that these other people could be so cruel as to force someone into another religion and force them to work too hard." "How did you feel knowing the other tribes and people were looking up to you?" "I was honored because this was something that I knew could make my family legacy proud." "In search of new land that had water, what did you say to keep the people going strong?" "I used my humor to show that in the worst of times, there could still be joy and laughter to keep everyone's spirits up." "Did you feel like giving up when the Spaniards and Mexicans up with the Spaniards and Mexicans?" "No, a good leader always stays persistent and never gives up anything to protect their people." Last question, did you live the life you wanted to? "I think I lived an honorable one and made my family proud. I am very grateful to experience the hardships because they made me stronger."
Kat, thank you very much. Very nice. Very nice, Kat. Let's go to another one. This one's called Team Issues, all right? Well, this is the one where people can ask you questions, okay? They can open their mic and after they might want you to explain something a little more. And so you're going to be talking to another person maybe. Let's see if I can get it going here. And let's go to view.
So the teen issue I chose was health risks with alcohol and substance abuse. Why is this important? Substances like drugs and alcohol are very harmful to someone's body, especially underage people. This is important to learn more about the effects of these substances so people can be cautious with what they are consuming and putting into their young bodies. I chose this because I never want to have to see someone go through this problem. When I went down to New Mexico, there were some not so happy people, and this was probably the cause. What am I going to do about it? To help promote awareness about this issue, I will be hosting an open house night with treats for the people and talk about the effects of substance abuse. Also, I will provide a list of hotlines and rehab centers for anyone struggling with this issue. The treats I will be providing are cookies.
Mhm.
Around where I live, there's a school called WIC, and they usually have rooms that are open to be able to use, so that's where I'm going to do it. How am I going to do this? My dad works at the Weber School District, and so he can help me set up things with that school. And he can help me set up an email to send to all the Native American families, not just the Navajo families, because I think it is important to all the Native Americans to come and hear about it. And then I'm going to make the presentation myself. When am I going to do this? I will set this project up to be on the first of each month for the rest of the year 2022. This is so there's multiple opportunities for all to come if they weren't able to come before. It will be at 5 p.m. and end at 6:30 p.m. With the Weber School District, there is a supervisor for the Native American people in the school district, so they will be helping me organize this. Also, I would ask my grandpa if he has any advice for me when I'm making the presentation. Everything would be free because it was through the Weber School District, except the cookies for the guests. I will order 100 cookies from Crumble Cookie, and it's $33 per dozen cookies. So for 100 of them, that would be $275. And because this is for 8 months, the total cost of the project would be $2,200.
All right, we're open up for questions, and then we're going to do a vote. Okay, do a vote on this one. So here's my question. When you go to these WIC places, they allow you to do WIC. Are you interested in having like a Zoom idea where somebody turns on a camera and it can be showed to other Native Americans? Would you want to do something like that?
Yeah, we could set that up in the back of the room, and so they could watch as I give my presentation as well.
I'm really thankful that you're involving your grandfather and other people that would help you because they can give us suggestions. All right, anybody? Yeah, it's your turn because this is you're gonna vote on it, right? You're gonna vote on it. So if you want a yes on this presentation, you have to say, I'm not sure what she's talking about right here or whatever. And you ask the question, she'll answer the question for you. And then when we vote, you can say, yeah, I know why I'm voting. Okay. Anybody? Questions? All right, so we don't have it. I mean, you can type it in your chat, and I'll read your questions. All right, so now you got to get to your chat. I need a motion. Who would like to make a motion? Meaning, I would like to have this be in our chapter. Okay, this is needed in our chapter, kind of. So type in your chat right now. I motion to have this program in our chapter. And then after that, I need a second. And then if it's all we need, this is how chapters operate. They motion and somebody seconds it. All it does is saying, yes, me too. I want this in our chapter. Motion, second, and then we do a vote. All in favor, we count. And then all against, we count. And then abstention means I just can't decide, I don't know which way. We count those guys too. All right. All right, I need a motion. Put it on your chat. I motion. Adej, do you want a motion? Just say yes. Just type yes. All right, here. Where? Oh, where are we on there? Okay, we got a motion. I need a second. Candace. Oh, I got one. Maya. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Motion by Deji, and then Maya, second. All in favor? All in favor, say yes. I want to count the yes. 4. If you motion, you can say yes to it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, four yeses. 5 yeses. Okay, all those against, just say against or something like that. Or no, you can put no if you want to. All right. And no means you have a real good reason why you're saying no to it. We should ask you. No. Okay, so yes, 5. No, nobody's saying no to this. And then the rest, are you saying that you're abstaining? If you're abstaining, say abstain, AB, just put AB in there, abstain. I know there's more than a lot of people here today. Okay, the motion 5, no zeros, no abstention, motion carries. Good job. Yeah. So Sydney, thank you. All right. Oh, not Sydney. I mean, okay, let's go back. Okay, so all right. So let's do chat. So let's do. All right, Sydney, you ready? Oh, that hard word you did. All right, I'm gonna put it on now. I hear your mic. Say hi. Okay. Sydney. Did you do yours already? Hold it, you did do yours already. No, you didn't. Okay, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so let's go ahead and do the slide. All right, so we got 2 more, and that's it.
So this is my leader's presentation on Narbona. First question is, what is your name? My name is Narbona. I asked, when did you get your first pony? I was 6 when I got my first pony. When did you first learn how to use a bow and arrow? He says, I was 12 and the bow was about the same height I was. I asked, when did he get married? And he said that he was wed to someone his parents picked out when he was 20. And then at what age did he become a well-known leader? And he was 34. How did people come to know you and respect you as a leader? I retaliated against the Spanish, the Utes, and the Pueblo with my companions and gained quite a following. How are you able to establish peace instead of war with the Spaniards? All of my people and some others gathered together all the warriors and fought back against the Spaniards at the perfect time, and we were able to make a treaty with them. When were you able to do this? I was 52 when I decided I wanted peace, and the treaty was signed in 1819. And then I asked, when a drought came, what did you decide to do for your family? And he decided to move them because he thought there would be a better place to live so they wouldn't starve. Question I asked was, even though you had peace, how did you help other Navajos have peace? And he went and communicated with Mexican leaders and tried to help stop raids on other camps. How old were you when you started talking to Mexican leaders? He was in his 60s. He was killed in August 31st, 1849, and he was killed by soldiers after they had discussed peace terms with Americans because they thought one of his soldiers had stolen a horse.
Oh, very good, Ms. Johnny. Now we're going to go to your creation story. This will be the last one. Here we go. And you. There we go. Very good.
The interviewer asks, what are you and what world were you a part of? The interviewee says, I'm a squirrel, a part of the third world. The interviewer asks, how did the world get destroyed? And the interviewee says it was destroyed by a flood. The interviewer then asks, what caused the flood? The interviewee says, coyote stole from the water monster. Interviewer asks, was it scary to leave the second world? The interviewee says, kind of, I just didn't have enough time to gather my belongings.
Ah, very good. Ms. Johnny, third world story. Yeah, lots of people there. All righty. We don't have any questions for you. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank both of you that presented. We are headed towards, if you see the, I don't know if you can, let me just get out of this stop idea. If you go here, if I go here, I don't know if you can see this, but Tuesday, Monday, 1, Tuesday, 2, 18th, 3, 19th, 4, 5 is 25th, 6 is 27th. This is our last day, Tuesday, last day. So we're gonna got 6 more days to finish Navajo Government. I really encourage you to get some presentations pulled together. Do not wait till the last day. Get them in the next 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Work with these 4 days to get all your presentation put together. All right. And then I'll email me, text me if you need help. Peace. See you later. See you Monday.